Let's start off and talk about 5G. As Scarlett was saying, you've now rolled out nationally. We've got the new iPhone. Are we at a tipping point?
Yes, I think we are. I mean, we have worked with our strategy for a long time, and we've talked about this second half of 2020 to be very important for our execution on 5G. We built our fiber and a fiber-rich network, and on top of that, we have now both nationwide, covering more than 200 million people in 1,800 cities, and then we have the so transformative ultra-wideband that we have now launched in 55 cities, and we're going to 60 cities by year, and we're adding some 19 cities last week. So we're just broadening the network and experience. And of course, as I said it before, the launch of the iPhone was important because this market, the US market, has such a high penetration of iOS users. So of course, this is an important moment. And we were extremely happy with the launch of the iPhone 12 because all of them have ultra-wideband inside the four models, which is just to contribute how we are working together with our key partners in this ecosystem.
Question on then how you're selling them. Two-pronged. One, like the visibility now that it's been on sale for a few days, but also you're giving it away for free, right? How long can you A, want, and B, afford to do that?
So first of all, when it comes to the pre-orders, remember there are pre-orders of two different models right now. There are two others coming the 6th of November. So we are very early in the pre-orders, just a couple of days. But we are happy what we're seeing. We see a lot of engagement in our customer base and the traffic in our stores and digitally. So we are very happy what we have seen so far. But it's a little bit too early to have any conclusions. So that's where we are on it. And then when it comes to the offerings, we feel really good what we have. I mean, we have the best network. We have now a device that is working on all the things we have built over so many years. But also, we have also worked with our customer with our mix and match, where we have different type of offerings for our customers, all the way from the premium unlimited to the unlimited basic, where people and our customers can choose. So we feel good about it, and the offering we have in the market with the iPhone is a typical offering we would have when we come a new iPhone. And this is not a typical one because it's a 5G. And I think this is probably the second most important launch that the iPhone has done since the start of the iPhone. The first one was, of course, the most important.
Hans, if I get my new iPhone and I'm looking for that super fast speed, that reduced latency that it's in theory should provide, am I going to get it? Are you actually going to be able to deliver that? And if not, will there be disappointment?
No, I think that first of all, we have built it in cities and stadiums and venues. That's where we have built it right now, and we're out in 55 cities. We're building this year 5 times more of those radio base stations than last year. And just to give you another fact, in the last 2 months, we built more ultra-wideband radio base stations than we did in the entire 2019. That's the speed how we're augmenting this in these cities. And by year end, we will have 6 of them. We will have double and triple in some of the cities, the coverage of them. But once again, we need to be clear. This we have built in the cities, and then we have the best 4G network on top of that, and as well a 5G nationwide. So you're going to get the experience, but of course, it's built in these cities right now.
All right, let's talk about another headline here, and this comes from the DOJ's antitrust case against Google. The DOJ saying yesterday that Google doled out more than $1 billion last year to U.S. mobile carriers to distribute its search engine. The companies that they distributed the money to weren't named. Can you help clarify as if Verizon is one of them or not?
We are working with all the big brands in this market. I mean, we work with Amazon, Disney, Google, and we have commercial agreements with all of them. We have 120 million consumers on our wireless network. So, of course, they want this type of service. So we have arrangement with all of them. There are no specific in a relationship with Google than anybody else.
Hans, if I get one of your new iPhones, is Google search going to be the default?
Yes, that's part of it, and this is the new iPhone, by the way, which I have in my pocket. Yes, that's what we have right now on the phone, but we give optionality on everything we're doing. We're working with all the top brands that our customers want to have. That's how we work, and we have the best distribution, the best network, and an A brand. That's why we have all this partnership, and that's why we had our partnership with Apple last week. We have had our partnership with Amazon. We just announced also that we're working with Microsoft on the 5G mobile edge computing. compute. So that's how this market is working, and that's our strategy. Our strategy is a network as a service, and we work with all these prime brands to give to our customers, and we monetize it.
I'd love to get your perspective, Hans, just though on what you think of the antitrust case against Google and sort of the animosity in Washington among big tech, and how that may affect you in the longer term and your relationship with Google, or the money that you wind up getting from Google to put their search on your phones. Can you talk me through how you're thinking about it?
No, I've seen the same news reporting that everybody else. I have no insight to what this DOJ is claiming, etc. So I have no comments on it. We're working with all these different companies, and Google is one of them. So no, I have no comments on it.
Okay, unfortunately, we're not going to let this go just yet, Hans. Do you have a revenue sharing agreement with Google to install Google Search as the default option on the new phones that you send out?
We have a long relationship with Google when it comes to different type of application. Of course, Android is used on all the phones that is not the iPhone. So we have a commercial relationship with them, yes.
So I understand you're not going to give us the hard number. I think just the reason why we're harping on it is because if we do get some pushback from DC, from the likes of Google, for example, and how they're able to distribute their search engine, that's going to affect your phones. It's going to affect how consumers react to it. I mean, there has to be some contingency plans or something.
Whatever decision comes out from a process like this, we will cope with that. We work with many different decisions in our industry over time, so there's nothing unusual. But yeah, hey, we have only seen this for one day, so let's see this through what's going to happen.
Final quick question. Let's talk about the numbers. Hans, what was behind the improvement in guidance that you've delivered to the market today? What is the factors that are driving it right now, and how sustainable are they? You've talked about 5G. Is there anything else?
No, I think that we're on a good trajectory in all our businesses, and you saw that our service revenue actually was coming to growth in the third quarter, even though it was 7.7%. It wasn't very important because we improved from July to August and August to September. So we are actually moving, and it's all our areas. I mean, clearly what you see in the consumer side, we're now improving. On the business side as well, we're improving, and then on the fixed broadband, our Fios had a record quarter, the best in 6 years. Much of it is driven on what is needed right now in this market when both comes to wireless infrastructure or wireline infrastructure. So we are very happy with that. And we also saw our media companies actually doing good in this quarter, improving from coming down the high double digits up to 20% in the second quarter, and now down 7% and improving in the quarter. Many of the assets like Yahoo Finance, Yahoo News are improving dramatically when it comes to users on the network. So it was many factors, and we continue to have a good cost control in the company. So that's why we can see a good quarter coming. And then, of course, we're adding that with the iPhone launch that is coming in the fourth quarter this year. Last year it was in the third quarter. That's why we see a good trajectory and a good base for going into 2021 as well.